Hello, precious people. I'm Jacqueline Parks, and today we're going to talk a little bit about procrastination and how to overcome it. So, join me as I paint and talk with you about some of the things I've dealt with as an artist and taking commissions and things like that. So, let's look at my desk today. It is right here, and I've been doing some cute little mini paintings. So if you've been watching me on Instagram or my YouTube shorts, then you'll see some of these that I've painted. Let me see if there's any. I don't have a chat box for whatever reason it didn't pop up. Let me see if I can get it to pop up. So if anyone's talking in the chat, I gotta see ya. So these were just cute little 3 by 3 inches that I cut of Arches paper, and I actually did one yesterday too, but in my exuberance in painting yesterday, I kind of messed it up with some splatters, but it's okay. These are fun exercises to do when you have like artist block or some other kind of block going on in your mind and you don't know what to do to get over it. I've kind of had some problems recently with my just feeling like my mojo's off or something like that. Not being able to create what I want in my mind, like what I see in my mind, I want it on paper. And then I go to do it and I'm frustrated because it's not turning out how I want it. And I'm sure you can relate to that. Sometimes it's really hard to overcome that, but like I was showing you here, I decided to just do some abstracts. Abstract art is one of those things that it doesn't have to look like anything. Like this was my first one that I painted. And you can see it's just super simple. I used 3 colors and then just wet the paper and let it kind of go, all over the place. So it turned out, I think, really pretty. In my mind, that could be like an island or that could be some kind of landscape, hills in the background. Um, then I think I don't remember which one I did next. Maybe this one. And this one I also just used 3 colors. And as you can see that I went a little darker and just added a little touch of that quinacridone lake. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. Very, very hard to pronounce some of those names. But this one was just really simple too. I think I used 3 colors on this as well. Blue, raw sienna, and green gold. So it was just really, that could be like a harvest field in the fall. I don't know. It's just really pretty. I like it. This one was just super fun to paint. I loved watching the colors kind of bleed out and just kind of meld together. So this one was fun to do. This one also was fun. I just dropped some white ink in the middle after I had painted it and just watched the water kind of go, the white kind of go all over the place. And then this one I think was my favorite because it does actually look like a waterfall. And that was kind of my intention was to make it look like that. So sometimes you can really do a lot with doing an abstract, and that helps you get over procrastinating a little bit. But I wanted to read to you a scripture that I just looked up, and it is Ecclesiastes 11:4. And here, I'll let you guys see my little face. So it says, "Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap." And to me, that talks about farming, because a lot of times farmers don't plant if it's going to rain because it'll wash away the seeds. But how many days in a row would you not plant if you keep seeing clouds in the sky? And not every cloud means it's going to rain. So to me, that's what it's talking to, is that you need to just stop waiting for the perfect moment, and just go for it. And I don't know if you know my story. I've been an artist since, I don't know, 5 years old, I will say, because I loved coloring, I loved painting, I loved doing all kinds of art. And I always said I was going to be an artist when I grew up. And of course, parents didn't really say that was a great career. They thought, you can't make a living doing that. You need to do something else. So I studied other subjects in school, went to college, started off as a poli-sci major, switched to English, and then I switched finally to art. And that's what I got my degree in, was art, and I love it, and I was so happy after I switched. But of course, after graduating, did I have a job as an artist? No, not really. I actually had to get a job as a secretary, and went to a temp agency, which they taught me everything about computers. I hadn't had a computer yet. And so that was a job that started me learning computers, which I'm pretty good with now. I can figure out a lot of things, like this whole live stream is going on OBS, and I learned how to transition from two scenes. And I've always been a fast learner, so if you show me how to do something, I can pretty much do it. But then after college, had to get some jobs just to pay the bills and do things like that. But I always have trusted in the Lord to provide for me, and maybe that's part of why I've succeeded, is that He has just held me in His hands and kind of, this poor girl needs some help. She doesn't know what she's doing. So definitely trust in the Lord. That's what got me through a lot of things in life. So today I want to talk about, well, I guess I could talk more about my career choices. But when I lived in San Diego, I did paint abstracts with acrylic, and that was super fun, and I enjoyed it so much. And that's one of those things where you really don't need to know what you're doing to make an abstract. You can just start. But oh yeah, going back to the whether or not you should just go for it. So sometimes you just need to go for it. And I had approached a couple galleries. I did a couple things and showed them. I had a company that bought one of my paintings. I had another show I did in Del Mar that a guy bought my painting there. And I sold a couple little things at some craft shows. Craft shows are really fun. I highly recommend, if you're an artist, to do them. So I'm just going to paint and talk. Hopefully I can concentrate and do this. We're just going to do something. This is that turquoisey color, the M-gram turquoise. So if you don't know what that is, it is amazing. So I'm just doing a waterfall today. Why? Because I've been doing a ton of waterfalls. So I just kind of like them. And so I really sorry, it's hard to paint and concentrate, isn't it? Yeah, but that's at the top of the waterfall. There you go. And we actually painted waterfalls yesterday at my class. So if you're interested in coming to one of my classes, you definitely can sign up on my website or shoot me a text or an email, and I will get you signed up on there. But yeah, the just kind of going for it sometimes is what's what's great about being an artist and doing this thing is that um, when I was in San Diego, I definitely just went for it, and I did a bunch of different art shows and sold some paintings, and it was really fun. It was really rewarding. I didn't get too caught up in what was just putting some green on here with this burnt sienna. So I didn't get caught up in, is it good enough, or do I know what I'm doing? Because I really didn't know what I was doing. I just kind of learned, and as I did it, and so that's kind of what's great about being an artist, is you kind of learn as you go. I don't know. My little cat was in here, and like now I'm finding all these little tiny hairs on everything. Oops. We may have to crop that one out. I don't know why there's like this little hair still on there. But I told people, do not let cats in my room. I don't want no cats in here. But we're gonna put some trees maybe right here, and we're gonna put some trees right here. And I'm gonna just let you guys know this is the ugly stage of painting. I don't even have anything to go by right now to tell you what it's gonna look like. All I can tell you is it's gonna be ugly before it's gonna be pretty. But yeah, procrastinating is what I've been doing lately about a couple commissions, just because I feel like I haven't had good success with painting lately, and I always want the painting to turn out great when I'm doing a commission. I want them to be happy with it. So a lot of times I critique it a little harsher because it's going to be someone's, it's going to be someone's painting on their wall or given as a gift to someone, and I just don't want it to be unworthy of that. So a lot of times, if I'm having a hard time with painting, like I feel like I don't have any pressure on me to paint right now. Christmas is over. I've been given some new commissions lately, but the thing is that they didn't give me deadlines. Deadlines are what make me work. So you say I need it by next Friday, I say okay. You tell me you need it by June, I'm not going to work on it until probably May 30th. I mean, really, I'll be that bad. That's how I procrastinate. And so I think that a lot of us function that way. We need to have a deadline. Like the scripture says, if you wait for the perfect moment to start, you won't start. And, if I waited for the perfect moment to start my art career, it wouldn't have started, because there isn't a perfect moment. There's always going to be something that will detract you from it or try and stop you from doing it. And for me, I feel that that's the devil or the enemy, or just like whoever is trying to stop you from being who you are, who you were born to be. And artists, they don't get encouraged a lot. So I hope that I'm encouraging someone today. I feel like I'm a little off today, I don't have any notes that I wrote out. So I just was like, what am I going to talk about today? So I was like, procrastination is a great thing to talk about, because I am totally procrastinating right now. I have like 3 commissions plus one that I would need to get done for a store down in this city that's about 30 minutes away, and they want to put some of my artwork in their shop. So I'm like excited, but they also want a larger piece. And you know me, I have like minis. So I have a lot of minis. Maybe I should just put a bunch of minis together. Yesterday at my class, someone said it would be cool if we all painted like a little square and then put them all together. And I think that would be really awesome. We should probably do that. I also talked to them about doing a workshop where we do color theory and things like that. And learn more in-depth exercises on improving the basics of color mixing and like the color wheel and stuff. I learned all that in college, so that's something that I'm pretty good at, and it's almost instinct now. It's like, how do you teach that? You kind of you have to remember how you were taught. So I hope that when I set up this workshop, that people want to come, because it'll be more in depth than what I give during one of my quick Sunday classes. So the quick classes, I give you 2 paintings to paint. We do like a quick one that just kind of is small, and I stamp an image, you stamp an image, color it in. So those were really fun. In fact, I'm going to ask my group if they'll post some of their pictures so I can see them. So yes, yesterday we did some waterfalls in the snow, which was really cool. If you want to see them, I'll show you the ones I did. Let me see. So this was the one I brought and showed everyone, hey, this is what you can make. And I liked how there's a lot of parts to this I really liked. I did the little splatter. This wasn't as white as I wanted it, so I tried to add it with some white ink, but it ended up not being as white as I wanted it. So this one I didn't paint it. And that's kind of how you paint white, is you don't paint it. You let the paper be white. And so this one I did during class, which a lot of times when I'm teaching and talking, I can't concentrate, so it doesn't turn out as good. But I do like all these little squigglies that I made with my rigger. They're always fun to do. And again, just have fun. A lot of times it's hard to know where to start when you start a painting, because what is it? It's a blank page when you start, right? And you're like, where do I begin? So follow some tutorials and you can figure out how to start. But for me, watercolor is so easy because it's just a piece of paper. And you can stamp something on there, color it in, and just have fun. So this one was a Stampin' Up! Stamp set from a million years ago. It's retired, but I do not get rid of my stamp sets. I love them. And so this one is really, it's very pretty. It's a little girl in the waves. And so I was teaching everyone how to mix this sand color, which is, it's pretty much orange and blue. And you have to play with the ratios. So you kind of go back and forth until you get this color. And that's kind of another reason why I want to do a more in-depth workshop with y'all. I would like to zoom in. I don't know if I can zoom in with my camera. It's mounted up here. Let me see. Oh, look it. I just zoomed in. Y'all, sometimes I can handle technology. It's very rare, but sometimes. So what I'm going to mix now, and I did lay down this kind of greenish color. You saw that I mixed, but I really like, this is burnt sienna that I squeezed out of a tube. And I always tell my students, you can take your palette, and when it's empty, like I used this cheap palette paints until they were gone. And I'm actually not even really done with some of the colors I haven't used up. But like the one that was the black, I used that up, or I removed the black because I'm one of those that I don't use black so often. So I wanted to put my Payne's Gray in there because I learned about Payne's Gray, and Payne's Gray is one of those colors that is just super versatile as a black. So I squeezed a whole tube of Payne's Gray in here and just let it dry. And I've used like probably 3 tubes of Payne's Gray since I started painting with watercolor. And some of them can be pricey. They're $10 and they're just little tubes. This one is like burnt sienna, I think, or burnt umber. This might be burnt umber, and this might be raw sienna. So these ones, this one is still original. This one I've used a lot of. Same with this green, the sap green I've used up and replaced my cobalt blue, ultramarine blue. There's a few other blues in here. This one, which is yellow ochre, that one I've used up and bought new tubes and squirted them in there. And also the I think that's yellow, cadmium yellow maybe. So, but you can see I don't use orange too much. I mean, I've used these two because they're more yellowish orange. But yeah, just start somewhere and don't worry about if you have the right supplies and stuff. But so today I'm just using this. I think this is burnt sienna. And sometimes when you use some of this stuff, you got to re-wet it and get that paint reactivated because it dries, but it does not go bad. So if you have dried out paints, just use them. This is one of those things where I think I want some Payne's Gray in there. Why? I don't know. It just seems fun to put Payne's Gray in there. And that's a cliff. So, but as you can see, it's starting to build on itself. And that's the reason I do this, is to show you guys that it starts off kind of, I don't know, kind of wonky, kind of dull, kind of ugly. I always say it's an ugly stage, but it gets pretty as you paint. And but yeah, after college, I ended up doing some art shows, but I also did real jobs, like, real jobs is where you get a paycheck. So as an artist, you might not get a paycheck if you do an art show. You have to kind of hope that you sell something, and if you don't sell something, then you don't make money, right? So that's one of those things where a lot of artists struggle because they don't have a paycheck, so then they give up. But I have a few friends, and then a couple ladies in the class yesterday. They were really interested in learning how to take commissions. And I mean, I'm not a professional at how to make money or anything, but I do trust that God is going to help me out when I need it. And of course, I have other forms of income. It's not just art. I don't think I could survive on just my art right now. I'm probably getting better at it, but for the meantime, it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of not a hobby, but it's definitely not as lucrative yet. But when we decide to do what we really are passionate about, I think God helps us to be able to do it for a living. Because what has He called you guys to do? What are you guys feeling like your calling is? Do you feel like you're supposed to be an artist, or do you want to make money doing art? Do you want to go to shows? Do you want to take commissions? I was thinking about doing a more in-depth video all about taking commissions, because I had to kind of learn on my own. I couldn't I had to make it up kind of as I went along. And so from what I've learned, I think I could help a lot of people out who are interested in that. Now I'm going to keep watering this down and maybe go up there. And that, I like it. I like how that's looking. What do you think? You like it, ladies and gentlemen, whoever's on, precious people? So yeah, let me see. I'm gonna kind of lighten that real quick. Might lighten. I gotta be careful. Look at this paper towel I'm using. It's got red on there. I do not want red on this painting. So I'm gonna get a brand new towel. It's just paper. So let me rinse that again. And I always keep two on my desk. Let me show you. Here, can you see my my cups? I have two cups. So I have, this cup of water, and I have this cup of water, which my dear friend Carla made for me. It has a turtle on it, and it has this notch, so when you're putting your paintbrush down, you can put it right there, and it doesn't roll off the lid or the lip. So I love that. Let's see what else we're doing here. So yeah, that's my little setup. Let me zoom back in if I can. There we go. I think that was where we were before. So this is turning out pretty good. I'm liking how it's looking. It still doesn't have any detail, but that's okay. I'm getting there. You know how it is. You gotta build it up. You can't just expect it to look like how you want it to look. You have to give it time to dry, and then you got to give it time to show up how you want it to look, because I'm just adding some dark values here. That's another thing I want to kind of teach in the workshop, is about values and stuff like that. So this is really turning out, I think, pretty. And it's not anything that I know of. It's just something in my mind, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be a real painting or a real picture of a place. It can just be something in your mind. So now I'm going to get some more of this greenish color, and to create a kind of a sage green, I have to add some red. So I just put a little bit of red, see? Just a little bit. And look at how it changed. Can you tell? It's like looking darker. And so I'm going to use that kind of as a little side thing, but that might still be a little bit, I don't know, it might be a little bit too wet still. So I'm just gonna, I might have to end up drying it. Put some more dark over here, because I want it really super dark right next to the water, because that'll give the illusion that it's kind of wet rocks right there. But not too wet. We don't want it too dark down the bottom because of the mist. We want that mist. But so I don't know, what do you guys want to do with your art careers? Do you guys want to start taking commissions? Do you guys want to start making some artwork to sell? You want to do art shows? You want to go in a gallery? These are the things that if you ask yourself, like, what do I really want to do? And it'll be easier if you can define really what you want to do. All right, I'm just making this little pool of water at the bottom. And I'm leaving that white because I didn't do that before. And that was kind of where I was messing up. But see, you have to learn from your mistakes. So, like, when I didn't leave this white, I learned from my mistake. You know what I'm saying? So now that's going right there. Rinse off my brush. I'm going to make maybe some like mossy green. So let me mix this as like my burnt umber over here. I think burnt umber and sage green. So I'm mixing burnt umber and sage green, and it's giving me that real dark kind of color. And I might just make some mossy looking rocks over here. I do not have any pictures in my mind, so this is all experimenting. But I like this kind of technique. Can you see what I'm doing? So you kind of move it around on its side, and it takes it just kind of paints on the texture of the paper. And I like how that looks. And see, this is too wet to do it on this side. But I like that. Ooh, I do like it. What do you think? Y'all like it? I really like painting waterfalls. They're just like one of my favorite things to paint. So like a lot of times I gotta let that dry before I do anything else to it. But it's looking really pretty. I'm liking it. Yep. It looks pretty good. And look, it's only been like 30 minutes since I started the live, and it's doing really just so quick. And because it's small, y'all, it's because it's small. If I were to paint this in a large scale, it would take me a lot longer. Sorry, I had to get a drink. Oh, I'm like, ooh, dehydrated. Y'all need to be drinking your water right now, because with all the cold weather, we have our heaters running and things like that. So I'm going to let that kind of dry for a little bit and just talk to y'all a little bit more about how I got started with watercolor. So in 2020, my sister wanted me to paint her a mermaid. If you've been on my channel before, you've heard the story probably a million times, but I'm going to say it for the new people. So she wanted a mermaid, and she sent me a photo of a painting that was a watercolor painting of a mermaid and said, "Can you paint this for me?" And since she knows I'm a painter, she figured I could do it. Well, I at the time was just an acrylic painter and an abstract painter at that, so I don't know what made her think I could paint that, but it must have just been like the Holy Spirit moving her to do that and to request it, because that's when I took my daughter's, inexpensive $10 set of paints and got some watercolor paper that I had, from I don't know when, like probably 20 years ago, and did a couple YouTube tutorials that I found online. So, and one of the people that I first saw was Paul Clark's tutorials, and he really explains a lot of the stuff that taught me how to do watercolors. So if you haven't heard of him, you need to go check out his channel, Paul Clark, and he is fabulous. He's entertaining. He's a great storyteller, but more importantly, he is a great watercolor artist who can explain it really well. And he gives you so many techniques. Another guy I follow right now is Leron. I don't want to butcher the last name. I'm real bad with pronunciation. So, but I can put his name in the description as well, so you guys can take a look at his channel. He paints really awesome. He's from Israel, and he's got mostly car paintings that I think you would recognize him. That's his style. Painting like different automobiles and stuff, buildings, people, but not like realistically, more of a loose style. But it's really cool how he paints. He's just amazing. And I just like how he talks to artists as well and gives tips on things on improving. So, and he goes live. I like going live. I don't know. For me, going live on YouTube is much easier than me sitting here filming, editing, and then posting. So, and like the short videos I've been doing, those have been so quick and easy. Like I take 10 minutes or less to film it, and then editing takes maybe 10 minutes, and then post it is pretty quick too, unless the internet's or the Wi-Fi is not working that great or something, then it might take a minute to download. But just being willing to put yourself out there. So I did not start this channel to do watercolors. I've had this channel forever. You can go back and see when my kids were little tiny, and they were helping me do my Stampin' Up. So and things like that. So I have some of those kind of videos. I don't even know what I was thinking YouTube was going to be about back then. But now I've kind of thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just put my art out there. Let's paint for people to watch me learn how to paint. And I hope it's been helpful for people to see it. So let me show you how this painting's looking now. It's drying. It's taking time to dry is the thing. But I do want to show you guys some of the really cool things that I do with my rigger, which is always fun to play with. So I'm going to get my little palette here, and I'm going to mix some more Payne's Gray with this green to make like a darker green. And I don't know, I'm just going to put some little branches maybe. And sometimes I just want to dip it right into that Payne's Gray. And I like making these little marks sometimes. They're just kind of fun. I don't know, I'm sorry if my hand was in the way. But see, now that area is dry and it's like looking pretty good. Get that. And see, sometimes you just kind of let it do whatever. Can't be too controlled with watercolor. But I'm liking just making these little marks. And you might be like, oh, she's ruining them. I don't know, am I ruining them? It's a piece of paper. It's not really going to be ruined, I don't think. But some people might be like afraid to make the first mark. And so I'm showing you it doesn't matter if you make a mistake, because it's just a piece of paper. So now I'm going to make some more of these and make them look kind of more like trees. Oops, y'all. I'm sorry I'm not in the... I'm used to it being zoomed out. But, so yeah, when I started painting the mermaid for my sister, I ended up doing something that she really liked, and I was very impressed with it as well. So I was kind of like, well, maybe I can do this. I'm going to make this darker. I'm going to make this look like some trees coming out. What do you think? Make this darker? See the values now? Maybe make this like look like it's really in the foreground. Maybe some of that red. That's really dark. No, I just kind of like stuff like this. Oh, I love the contrasting colors there. That's really good. And then this. Add just a couple little dots in there. See, I'm not sure if I like those. I want to put more Payne's Gray colors in there. And then sometimes you can just wet your brush and let it kind of soften. Just so ever so slightly, just soften. But yeah, the mermaid turned out really good. I should post a picture of it. I had to search for like 10 minutes on my phone to show it yesterday to some ladies in my class who were interested in seeing how it turned out. And so I did that, and now I'm just adding some of this burnt sienna. I don't know. Kind of want to bring a little brown in there, maybe. A little green. But it's kind of like a mist in there, so I kind of don't want to get rid of that misty feel. But this is kind of the little cliff right here. So I like that. It looks kind of like a cliff. And see, I just keep adding darker and darker values here. And that's what kind of makes it look really nice. And I'm going to add some dark in here to kind of frame it. And then what I really want to get is like a real nice, we'll re-wet all this maybe. And kind of wiggle this just a little bit. So yeah, that's looking kind of cool. That's looking pretty good. I like it. And I feel like this area is not defined enough though. So I might do something in there, like make that look more like rocks. Probably should have left it dry and then added something in there. I want to add some more dark in here. And sometimes mixing that brown and Payne's Gray can make some really cool things happen. Someone keeps texting me. I don't know who. I have to check it when I get done here. And then just adding that darker color in there just to make it a little bit more depth. But I didn't want too much in there because it's got like this nice feel already to it of water spray and things. So yeah, it's looking good. Could make this a little bit more misty. And see, I'm just taking this, wetting it, and rubbing the paper. If you have good paper, it won't mess it up. Then you just dab it, and that kind of makes it misty. See how it's taking away? I like that. Kind of mistiness. And if I wanted to, I can make this tree kind of come all the way to the bottom and like you're looking past it to this view. Like you're coming off a path down below and you see this as you come off the path. You might do that. But this is wet right now, so I gotta wait and let that dry. Let it dry or make it dry, as this other artist I follow on Instagram says. Or she's got a couple channels on. She's got a channel on YouTube as well. But yeah, we're gonna let that kind of dry for now. And so my to get back to the story about the mermaid painting turned out great, and I really enjoyed watercoloring, and so I started doing more. And I think I did post some pictures maybe on my Facebook. I can't remember now what I did, but one of my friends saw it, and she asked me to paint something for her, and I was like, oh, okay. I think I painted my cat and posted that, and so people were like, oh, paint my cat, or paint my dog, or paint, something for me. And that's kind of how the commission started, was that I ended up just sharing what I've been doing for myself, and then other people were like, I want one. And another thing to remember about your art is you don't have to make it for other people. Like if there's a style that seems really popular, but it's not something that resonates for you to paint, I wouldn't force it. I wouldn't be like, oh, everybody likes this style, so I should paint this style. I say paint your style, and there's going to be people who are attracted to it, and they will seek you out to paint something for them in your style. So when you're taking a commission, don't think you have to change your style to suit what they want. I've seen where people online have said that, they've been contacted by someone to paint their pet for them, but they want it in this style. And the artist said that style is not something I paint, so you can you can say no to commissions. You can turn them down. You don't have to paint them. But for me, I enjoy making, someone's fur baby come to life on the page. I've also done people. I've done places, houses. These are the kind of things that really, they touch my heart, because I know the person who commissioned me is really moved by their animal or their loved one or their home or a place they visited. And so for me to be able to paint that for them is such an honor, and I really try and do the best job I can. Like I said, with the mermaid painting, I just went for it, and my sister loved it. And I ended up doing some more paintings, and I did a couple of lighthouses, and I've done so many now. And that's kind of what made me think I need to start doing arts and craft shows so I can sell some of these paintings, because they were stacking up. But, with any kind of art, like if you paint on canvases take up a lot more space than paper. So that's another reason I love watercolor, is it just doesn't take up as much space. So I can paint a lot more, and if it doesn't sell, it's not a big deal. So, I wanted to show you guys this too. My husband bought me this, he bought me these ones I showed you guys. It's like homemade soft, super soft, watercolor paper. Super soft, like super. This one is not as soft, but it's bigger, and it's definitely, it's really pretty. And it's like antique-y looking. So I'm not sure how to work with watercolor, or if I need to use gouache, because, sometimes gouache is a better option for for paper that's more thirsty, I guess, because like arches, you can wet really hard, wet it a lot and scrub on it, and it's not gonna tear. It takes a lot to tear it because it's really strong. So this paper, which is kind of like homemade paper, I think. I was gonna ask him what company he bought it from, but it looks like they stained the edges and tore them. I mean, these are definitely DIY. These are not like, I don't think they're mass produced kind of things, which I love kind of stuff like this. It's just kind of cool. So I was thinking I might do some larger paintings on these, some waterfalls on these, I like stuff like that. But I also like doing other stuff, mixed media. I like doing abstracts. I like doing all kinds of stuff. So again, just get out there and start doing something. Just start somewhere. When I started posting on YouTube, I think I started and I was in my pajamas. My kitchen was a mess. My house was a mess. Everything was a mess. And I said, if I don't start today, I may not start ever. And so, because nothing was perfect. I didn't have makeup on. I didn't have my hair done. I barely have my hair done now, but I just decided if I'm gonna be a content creator, then I gotta start making content and posting, right? So I did a little video and I posted it, and I don't even know how many views it has now. I guess I could look it up, but sometimes I look at it, so and it's very discouraging because there's like 2 views, if even if even that. But sometimes I get encouraged because my little short videos that I've been doing every day since Christmas, I did the countdown to Christmas. That was really fun. And I just did it. I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a quick video and post it. And so I'm gonna look at my last little content for my shorts. So what's crazy is every day of last week, so like let's say Monday through Saturday, we'll say Monday through Saturday, every single one of my shorts got over 2,000 views. 2,000. And I was kind of like, what? So I was super excited. Well, yesterday's post got 44 views. I don't know why. It looks pretty much the same as the other ones. So I'm a little confused why it didn't. And that's one of those things where, I could let the enemy discourage me from doing what God wants me to do. Maybe, who knows, Sunday is one of those days people aren't on YouTube and they're not watching videos. They're out with their family and they're doing things not with a phone in their face, which I don't want people to have a phone in their face, but I do want to encourage you to use the resources you have. And for me, I watched YouTube videos. That's how I learned how to watercolor. And then also for just making content, I decided, I was like, you know what? We're just going to start making content. And I did buy a nicer camera now. I bought like a really cheap one before and it was horrible. So I said, no more of that. I did buy this cute little light clip for so I can look prettier. So I can be lighted and you guys can see my face. I also, what else did I invest in? I do kind of need a mic. I need to get a better mic. I have a mic and I don't really know how to use it. So I have this and I think it needs to plug into something. So I do need to research that and figure it out. But for the most part, I just try to give you guys some content that will help you. As an artist, I know that the whole procrastination thing is a real issue for me, because if you don't give me a deadline, I can't get on to doing it for some reason. Deadlines help me. It's just like Christmas time. I had I don't even know how many commissions in December. I could go look at my list because I wrote them all down. I think I had 15 commissions to do in December, and that's woo, a lot. But I also knew that I had deadlines. And so for me, I paint pretty quickly, so it doesn't take too long for me to paint. But if I come across a subject that's having difficulty with, so then maybe it does take me a little bit longer. Or if they want a larger painting, that takes longer. So 8x10s, I can pretty much do the turnaround time in a week. My little Christmas ornaments, let me see if I have. So these little round wooden things, I can paint a pet on here in a day. But again, if it's not turning out right, then I start to get frustrated and I ignore it for a little bit and go do something else. And then I come back and I'm like, okay, let's try again. But so right now I do have 3 commissions I'm working on. I have one that's kind of done, but I'm not sure if I'm happy with it. I have another one that's 90% done, and I need to finish it and deliver it. And then I have another one I need to start, and then a large painting I need to start. So those are the 2 things I'm going to try and work on today. And also, if you are an artist and you're taking commissions from people, just communicate. I actually let the people know that I'm having some creative inspiration, juices flowing, mojo problems. And they were very understanding. And they said, let the process happen when you want it to. And of course, that doesn't give me a deadline, but, and so I have to manufacture my own deadline. So what I would like to encourage you about when you're procrastinating doing things, you can set your own deadlines. So let's just say you don't have a deadline to post a video on YouTube because it's just you and nobody knows that you're doing anything. And you have a lot of fear about it. I have fear. Before I even get on here today, I was like, okay, let's do this. Push the button. So sometimes the fear stops people. And I think God gives us a purpose in life. And we're not supposed to be living in fear. We're supposed to live with purpose. And like I showed in my last video, my last live video, was my one little word for the year is grow. So I'm going to grow my channel. I'm going to grow my business. I'm going to grow in my faith, grow in my trust with the Lord and my relationship with the Lord. I'm going to grow my in-person classes. And so my next big purchase item will probably be a projector so that I can paint and project it on the wall for everybody in the room to see. Because I've noticed when I am, when I have a small group for my class, there's 3 or 4 people, then we're all at one table and can see what I'm doing. But yesterday we had 6, so we kind of spread them out and had 2 tables. And we had to sit at little kid table, but that's a whole nother story. I'll leave for another day. But so we had 2 tables, and I noticed that as I'm painting at one table, the other table can't see what I'm doing, so I would hold it up. But again, that's not ideal. I would love to have it projected onto a wall or a screen for everyone to be able to see exactly what I'm doing, zoomed in. So that's something I'm going to research, get some prices for, and maybe have it for my next class. But if not for my next class, I know I'm going to have it for my workshop. That's my goal. So another thing is setting goals. Like I have my little booklet of, I don't know where it is. Might be somewhere, but I don't know. So I have these little daily planner things, and they have a lot of pages in there where you can put ideas. You can put what you're gonna do for the day. You can brainstorm ideas in these. So I really like this little thing. Got it at Walmart. Y'all don't have to spend a lot of money in order to get organized. And I do have planners that I had, when planners were like the biggest thing going. Most popular thing ever. So I have these. I have a bunch of them. And so right now I have my January, and I'm going to have everything on here that I need to do. I always jot down ideas that I have for videos, and I have this week is going to be my mini series about trees. So I'm going to be painting a different tree every day and posting that on my YouTube channel. So I hope you will come back and check it every day. And that's the thing too. Don't worry about what other people think. Don't be afraid about what other people are saying or what other artists are doing, or don't compare yourself, because everybody's walk is different. Like I did not even expect to be doing what I'm doing today 3 years ago when I first started watercolor painting. And you guys have to start somewhere, and it may be scary, but if you just do it, and even though like I just showed you, so like I have my little YouTube chart. Look at that big. That was from this last week, that big one. But see, now it's kind of tapering off. I don't know why. YouTube algorithms are kind of hard to understand. But look at my top content. Oop, there we go. It's like 2,000, 2.5, 2.4, 2.4. I mean, all of those are from, well, it says from the last 28 days. But if you really want to know the truth, all of these are my abstracts. My little abstract shorts, which is crazy. But I also noticed that with one of my live videos that was about abstracts, it went lots of views. So people love abstracts, but does that mean I'm going to stop painting pet portraits? No, because I love painting pets. In fact, a lot of times I cry because if their pets passed away, I feel like that's their little fur baby. And I love my little fur babies. And I'm always, I cried so hard when I lost one of my cats. He was just the most precious, and I couldn't stop crying for like 30 minutes. And so I don't know. I just feel for people, especially, it's their baby. So I hope you guys enjoyed today. I hope you enjoyed my little painting that I did of this waterfall. I think it's nice. You don't want to look at it too closely, right? You got to have it be that abstract kind of feel, that loose feel to it. Anyways, but I hope you all have enjoyed today's video. If you have, please like and subscribe, and share it with others. And I'm just going to do a quick little, I did that scripture on Ecclesiastes, but, sometimes we need more scripture, huh? And so this one is a good one. Galatians 6:9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. There you go. Read your Bible. It's going to encourage you. It's going to help you to overcome your fears. It's going to help you to do what God put you on this earth to do. So, hope you all have a blessed day. I love you. Mwah. And see you in the next